Ladies and gentlemen, former Wales and British and Irish Lions captain and one of sport's true trailblazers, it's Gareth Thomas. It's quite emotional, this, isn't it?
It really is, because I'm being celebrated for something that 6 months ago was something that I wanted basically to die, because I felt that nobody would accept me. So to be celebrated, it's a difficult thing to still try and take. But what I've realized, and what I hope is the story, is that the story transcended HIV. And it made realize that people, and we're all people, amazing athletes, amazing sports people in this room, we're all people, and we all have weaknesses, and we all have vulnerabilities. And people want to prey on them. But what I realized as athletes is one thing we know is how to fight and how to come out. And having a vulnerability, having a weakness, doesn't make me weak. And there was a point where I thought it made me weak.
It's just been extraordinary to watch. I mean, even now, like you say, we can see that you're trying to get your head around where we are now as opposed to 6 months ago. Can you believe the reaction that you've had, the positivity, the support, the warmth?
I can't, because it wasn't something I was expecting. If it was something I expected, then potentially I wouldn't have kept it the secret it was. But what I do have to say, and there's people in here, is like, my environment wasn't created by me, and we all live in environments that are created by other people, and we're afraid of what other people will make that environment. We're afraid of, if we let out these secrets, then they'll make it a horrible place for us to live. And what I really learned, one thing I really learned is that people ain't that bad. They're not that bad. Like we turn on the telly at the moment, and there's arguments going on. There's people bickering about absolute crap that is so irrelevant to the way we live our lives. And I put faith in society. And if I can thank people in here, if you were part of that society, but more importantly, people out there, is my faith was justified. Because they applauded me. Because they didn't applaud. What they applaud was honesty. And as sports people in here, we know that if you're an honest sportsman, you're a good sportsman. But more importantly, if you're an honest human being, you're a better human being.
Very well said. Now, before we present you with your awards, we do have a very special message for you from someone who sadly couldn't be here with us tonight, but he was very keen to share his thoughts with you.
Hi Gareth, this is Elton. I'm in Sydney. I wanted to send you a message to congratulate you on your very well-deserved award tonight. You are an amazing, brave man, and you have done so much to change the stigma of HIV and AIDS by admitting that you are HIV positive. You are a beacon of hope for so many people out there, and I think you are the absolute best. What you've achieved in your life has been spectacular, but what you're achieving as a human being is even more spectacular. I love you, and I thank you. Have a great night.
Was that a lucky like key? Or was it oh wow! No,
Only flipping to Elton John.
Oh man! And you know what's so strange about this, but in a really positive way, is that I've become friends with these amazingly famous people, and there's amazingly famous people in this room, right? And what I realize is that amazingly famous people are just people, and actually they care about things as well. And hearing Elton talk the way he did, and doing stuff with Prince Harry, what we have in common is that we actually care about creating a better society for people. And that's why, like, my connection with Elton and Prince Harry and other really uber famous people that I would never cross paths with, but through honesty and vulnerability, I've managed to cross their paths and realize that they're real people.
Well, you know, it's as you say, if you care, you can make a difference.
Too right, mate. I truly believe that. And you know what else I truly believe is that there's sports people in here today that inspired me and have inspired me for years and years and years. And they care. They don't just care about what they participate in. They care because they want to be the best, because they know being the best is going to inspire some young girl or some young triple jumper somewhere out there to be the best. So it's not just all about them, it's about the legacy they want to leave behind.
Definitely. Well, we've got a couple of people who have done just that and have certainly inspired you over your career. One who knows, he's a rugby hero himself, and knows just what a tough opponent you are, and a sportsman who can tell how inspired he has been by you since you've stopped playing rugby. England legend Jason Leonard and record-breaking world champion swimmer and Pride of Sport judge Mark Foster. Always giving, Jace, always giving. He was an extraordinary, I mean, sort of as Gareth's profile and what he is achieving, as Elton said, off the rugby pitch is superseding anything he's done before. We can't forget the fact that he was an extraordinarily good rugby player, wasn't he?
He was a great rugby player. And, I mean, it's like anything else. At the beginning of the night, with sport, we get told sport breaks down barriers. It does, and it unites us. And no more so than Gareth. I mean, his rugby career, fantastic. Wales and the British and Irish Lions, he's an absolute champion. But it's away from the rugby field now. He's also a champion somewhere else. And his humility of what he just spoke about earlier just shows you that's the measure of the man.
Yeah. And Mark, it transcends the sport as well, doesn't it? That's particularly key, isn't it? When you finish playing, you finish swimming, you finish doing what you're doing, and how you're then going to go forward, particularly if you have a situation with your health like Gareth does.
I'm listening to true inspiration, and the thing was, I was doing the BBC this afternoon, doing some commentary, and I said, I've got to leave half an hour early because I've got to be here. So I basically jumped on the train, left my co-commentator, who's not happy, and basically got down here because I asked Daily Mirror to put back his award so I could be here this evening, because you're true inspiration. And I just wish, I grew up as a 13-year-old, realised that I was gay and struggled with my sexuality, led separate lives, and I wish I had a role model and someone to look up to like you when I was younger, because not only you're an inspiration on the pitch, you're an inspiration off it. So thank you.
Now, you may have noticed that neither Mark or Jason have the award with them. Usually, you'd blame Jason because he often can't remember where he lives. That's not the award you give him, by the way. But there's a reason for that, because there's two people that wanted to be here to give you this award. They're two people that wanted to show how proud they are of you and what you've managed to overcome, your courage in everything in your career and in your life. It's your mum and dad.
Oh, shit.
Barry and Yvonne. Come over here to me a sec, so I can talk to you. Come this way. Come over here, Barry. Now then, while your very emotional son pulls himself together, quite frankly, Yvonne, what was he like as a little boy?
Pain. A pain. He tried every sport. We spent a fortune on outfits. He'd do it for one season. Cricket, karate. He tried it all. He tried it all. Cost us a fortune.
Eventually found his way to rugby,
Yeah.
Which I'd imagine for the family must have been a blessing as well, what with, you know.
Well, we spent many Sunday mornings freezing cold. Many Sunday mornings freezing cold with a flask of coffee.
Was there any good bits, Yvonne?
Well, not that many times.
Barry, I'm going to come to you if I may, because what we've seen is your son's extraordinary career, but then more than that, and the courage and the battle that he's had since he's retired. As his father, how is it for you? I'm going to come around this way if I may. How is it for you to watch your son have to go through that?
Well, it was very hard, and we had some very dark times. But I think now is, what can I say? It was a bit like a weather forecast, you know, highs, lows. Tempest, storms, but I think thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening. But, I won't break into song, because not all Welshmen can sing. But now he's inspiration now and into the way.
So has he changed much? Yvonne said he was a right pain when he was young, and has he changed much?
Not at all. He had us out of bed this morning at 5:30.
I want to know who's looking after the dog.
He's in the dog's in the hotel watching, don't worry.
So look, let me come back. We're going to leave the last words to you, Gareth, because it's your award. These are your family. These are your contemporaries that are hugely proud to be on the stage giving you this award. Anything you'd like to say?
Do you know what? Like Fozzie and Jason, like they're great heroes of mine in sport, but also as friends. But now I've got them here. Like we have been through really difficult, dark times. And I've got a loving husband at home, but I would not be here without these. So I wouldn't be collecting this award if these weren't here. So I want to take the opportunity, clap these, not me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Barry, Yvonne, Mark, Jason, and of course the one and only Gareth Thomas.